Continuing on with number 7, so we got e to the 3t. Now we've dealt with exponentials like this before, but now we've got like something going on inside of that exponent. So I'm going to call this v. We're going to use u and v a lot in calculus, so I'm going to just call that one v. And so the derivative of that like kind of inner function there, v prime, would just be 3. So to find g prime of t, we're going to do, oops, sorry, not x, of t, the derivative of e to the 3t. Well, let's do the quote-unquote outer one first. We'll do e to the 3t because, exponentials are kind of weird like that. And we're going to multiply by the derivative of what's inside, so derivative, which is just 3. So you can reorganize that just a little bit. We got g of t equals 3 e to the 3t. Number 8, rearranging this might be helpful. So we got negative 8 over t plus 3 to the third. It might be helpful to make it negative 8 times t plus 3 to the negative third power. So kind of like taking that out of the denominator. So now when we do f prime of t, we're going to take this negative 3 and multiply it by negative 8, which gives us positive 24 times t plus 3, and we're going to subtract 1 from that exponent, so it becomes negative 4. Now we're going to kind of put this back into fraction form, so we got f prime of t equals 24 over t plus 3 raised to the positive 4th power. Number 9. It just bugs me that I didn't put a box around number 7. My apologies. Number 9, we have the square root of 9 minus 4x. Again, it might be helpful to write it as 9 minus 4x raised to the 1/2 power. So let's do the derivative of the outside portion. So taking that 1/2 exponent, let me switch colors a second. We're going to do g prime of x. We'll do the derivative of the outside, so we'll do 1/2 times the coefficient, so that just gives us 1/2 times 9 minus 4x raised to the, well, we got to subtract 1 from the exponent, so 1/2 minus 1 is negative 1/2, times the derivative of what's inside. The derivative of 9 minus 4x just simply is negative 4. Now we can kind of combine some like terms, or at least multiply this out to simplify it. We got 1/2 times negative 4. Let's just make that a negative 2. So we got negative 2 times, well, I'm just going to take this in one more step than I was planning. 9 minus 4x raised to the negative 1/2 power. This is again g prime of x. And again, with the negative 1/2 power, the negative means it's got to go to the denominator. So we got negative 2 over, and then since it's going to be in the denominator and it's a 1/2, it's going to be the square root of 9 minus 4x. Number 10, again, I'm going to start using the letters u and v more. I mentioned that earlier. We'll call this first part u, we'll call this second part v. So we've got two separate things we need to take the derivative of. But just kind of breaking it down, I'm going to rewrite e to the x over 4. I'm going to make it e to the x, or e to the 1/4 times x. So u prime, simply put, so again, that's u, that's v. U prime is just going to be 2x. V prime, we're going to do, again, that's just, if it helps to put it in parentheses, kind of viewing it that way. It's going to be e to the x over 4 times 1/4. So the derivative of the outer part, and then remember we got to kind of treat this part like it's an inner function, and the derivative of that inner piece there is just 1/4. So going through, we got to now use the product rule. So we got f prime of x equals the first function times the derivative of the second. So we got x over 4 times 1/4 plus the derivative of the first function, so 2x times the original second function, e to the x over 4. I'm just going to overuse parentheses, and you can leave it just as so. Number 11, we've got another radical there, so it might be helpful to rewrite it. So rewriting this radical, we're going to have 3 times, instead of the square root of x squared minus 3x, or 3e to the 3x, there's a lot going on there. We're going to write it as x squared minus 3e to the 3x, all raised to the 1/2 power. So now we're going to take care of that inner part, or sorry, take the derivative of the outer part first. So we're going to do the 1/2 times 3, which gives us 3 over 2. Leave the inner part alone. We have x squared minus 3e to the 3x. And we got to subtract 1 from the exponent, so it's negative 1/2. And then we got to multiply it by the derivative of what's inside. So the derivative of just that x squared is 2x. Now the derivative of, sorry, that got a little messy. The derivative of negative 3e to the 3x, well, it's going to be negative 3e to the 3x times the derivative, remember we got to do like that derivative of that inner function there. So the derivative of 3x is going to be times 3. We can clean that up just a little bit if you want. Just there's a couple things on here that I'd like it to be in a slightly cleaner order. So we got f prime of x equals 3 over 2, and I'm going to leave that first group alone. Actually, you know what? Let's go make it a little more let's make it a little nicer looking. Because this group right here is raised to a negative exponent, we can put it in the denominator with that 2. So it's 3 over 2, and then it's going to be the x squared minus 3e to the 3x, and it's to the negative 1/2, so again it goes to the denominator because it's negative, and it's a 1/2 power, which means we're going to take the square root of it. So it's going to be the square root of x squared minus 3e to the 3x. Then the other group times, I'm just going to rewrite it just a little bit, 2x minus, and then this part right here, 3e to the 3x times 3, let's just make it 9e to the 3x. And that is a pretty solid final answer. Last one, actually probably the easiest one, or one of the easier ones from this. 5 times the sine of x squared. So we do have an inner function here. That's our inner function right there. So let's do the outer part first. So we have g prime of x. The derivative of the outer part, well, the derivative of sine is just cosine. So it's going to be 5 times the cosine of x squared times the derivative, let me actually color code this a little bit better, times the derivative of x squared, which is just going to be 2x. I'm going to put this in parentheses just to make sure we don't mix those up. And that, my friends, is all for that.